Okay, back on with the bed support. I've now decided to not bother with the original idea of attaching the rail here. I think it'd be far neater to have run the aluminium tracking basically along here and have either a chain or a cable or a strap to support the end of the bed. However, as I mentioned, the inner panel's not really strong enough. I've cut a little core out here, so that's the outer skin. Then you've got about 16 to 17 millimeters of foam, and then the inner skin. It's not a very strong inner skin. So where the pencil mark is, what I intend to do is cut the inner panel out completely, remove the foam, and then attach this 80mm plywood, bond it in with Sikaflex, and then fiberglass over the top of it, fiberglass it in with epoxy resin and cloth. So it should be more than strong enough then. I've actually got up on the roof and stood on this cross member here with 1 foot to see what the deflection was like, and it was just probably about 5mm. Well, that's before it's been reinforced, so once I got the 18mm plywood in, it should be easily strong enough. The other thing I plan to do is, before I actually attach the plywood, is fit these 4-pronged T-nuts to the back of the wood in the correct position for the bolt holes on the rail, which are actually at 100mm centres. And then I'll use these countersunk M8 bolts to attach the rail. So if I need to unbolt it or anything, I can easily do it, but it should be very strong. I mean, they actually use these T-nuts for putting the handholds on some climbing walls. Obviously just one of these for a handhold to support someone's weight. I'll be having about 10 of them per rail. So I now need to cut this out. What I found, you can actually cut, this is that thin, you can actually cut it with a Stanley knife. So basically that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to carefully trim it out and then dig all the foam out. Right, I've cut round the edge of it. I actually remembered I got this sort of wannabe Dremel tool, so I'll cut round the edge of it with that and then just used a chisel. So it should all come off now, so here we go. Woo. Voila. Okay, I've dug all the foam out and gave it an initial sand, but it's going to need rubbing down a bit better. And then on the other side, I've just cut the panel out, so obviously the foam's still in place. So I'm about to dig out all the foam. So I've just drilled all the holes in the 18mm plywood that's going to support the rail. Then I'm just putting in the 4-pronged T-nuts. How I tend to put them in, I just tap them in with a mallet, rather than, you can actually sort of screw the nut on the other side. So just another 8 to do. Okay, I've just done a test fit of the rail and all the countersunk head bolts tightened in fine. So I'll now remove them again and get ready for bonding the plywood onto the camper body. So I've now bonded them in on both sides. Put a bit of wax on the back of the bolt just so obviously they're screwed in. I don't want the glue going into the hole, but it's just to stop the glue sticking to the bolt and stopping it coming out. But I'll probably, in about an hour or so, I'll just loosen them off slightly. But I think I'll probably have to leave it. It's going to have to, well, that's it for today. So I'll leave it overnight to go off. So then the next job will be fiberglassing this wood back in. What I might also do, I'm thinking of possibly cutting out part of the fiberglass here on the inside, and then actually fitting a small bit of wood in there that's attached to the wall, just to strengthen the joint. So obviously, as the force will be basically coming along here, and obviously through the roof when I put weight on it. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be alright, but time will tell.